Howdy y'all. So in a previous video, I told y'all some of the names that folks had given the ET&WNC Railroad over its life. And one of the names I mentioned briefly but didn't get into much detail on, and that was the name A Railroad with a Heart. And the reason why I didn't go into much detail on that particular name is because the railroad earned that nickname all to the efforts of one man who deserved a video all his own. Conductor Cy Crumley. I don't think one name is more synonymous with the history and the legend of the ET&WNC Railroad than Charles Cy Crumley. Cy Crumley was born July 8, 1886. The railroad had existed for 4 years up until this point, and in 1906, at the young age of 20 years old, he hired on with the ET&WNC Railroad and rose up to become a conductor. Now, Cy Crumley himself is why the ET&WNC earned the nickname A Railroad with a Heart, and this was for two reasons. Reason number one, Cy Crumley had a custom-made ticket punch that he had custom cut by the railroad's machinist to make a heart shape for whenever he punched folks' tickets. And reason number two was his genuine and kind nature. Cy was known for letting little old widow women ride the train for free, using the logic that they were going that way anyhow. And folks knew that if they ever needed anything, they could flag the train down and Cy would order the engineer to stop, and he would make sure that whoever flagged the train down had what they needed before they finished up for the day. He would even run out into town during the layover stops in Johnson City and gather up all the supplies that folks would need, and then he would load them up onto the passenger cars and haul them all the way back to whatever holler that they were needed in. Over the course of his 6-decade career with the railroad, he hauled everything from a spool of thread to mend the family wedding dress, to dropping off a cast iron stove on the side of the track and then volunteering the brakeman and the fireman to help him haul that cast iron stove up the hill so that way a little old widow woman would have heat for the winter. Cy Crumley had a very long career with the ET&WNC Railroad, and he saw the railroad through some of its most significant changes. He was there during the flood of 1940 whenever the Limble River Railroad had been washed out. And here he is in the October of 1950, receiving the very last train orders to ever be given for the narrow gauge. In the coming months after this picture was taken, the tracks were abandoned, pulled up, and melted down for scrap. But even after the end of the narrow gauge, Cy Crumley's career had lasted on through the standard gauge era of the ET, until he finally retired in 1969. Just 9 years later, on May 31st, 1978, at the age of 91, Cy Crumley would pass away in his home on Buffalo Street in Johnson City, Tennessee. It is for men like Cy Crumley that myself and other preservationists around the country and around the world do the kind of work that we do. So that way, even though they may have passed on into eternity, their memories will not. Now, if you would like to know more about Cy Crumley and some of the other cast of characters that worked on the ET&WNC Railroad, or if you'd like to see where I source a lot of my pictures, go to the Cy Crumley Scrapbook. Or if you'd like to join an online community where we discuss the history of the ET&WNC Railroad, you can go join the ET&WNC Fans group on Facebook. And as always, thank y'all for watching. Be sure to leave a like and a follow, and I will see y'all next time.